What's up, guys? Alright, so today is the day I'm going to pot my string of turtle cuttings. They've been in this tray for 2 weeks. They've been propagating. They've been growing so well. Let me see if I can show you. So they've been growing really well, and I wanted to leave them in here longer, but I noticed that some roots are taking in too much water and they're beginning to rot parts of the leaves. So I don't know, that's freaking me out a little bit. I'm about to be out of town for 10 days, so I don't want to leave them unmonitored in the moss for too long. So I'm gonna move them over to soil and hope for the best. So roots are looking well and established after 2 weeks on each little piece. But like I said, I notice, I don't know, some pieces, are they getting too much water, and some pieces are rotting. So I don't know, I think I should move them into soil. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna use a really shallow planter for my cuttings. You don't want to use anything too large or too deep, because it's going to take the roots too long to drink up the water, and that's going to lead to root rot, right? So that's the last thing we want our cuttings to do, is rot. So our planter here, I got my soil mix here. I'm going to dampen it a little bit. So what I have here is a mixture of organic potting soil mix, and then I just added a bunch of different aeration components, like there's perlite, pumice, and there's orchard bark as well. So the soil should be able to hold some moisture, but definitely want it to be breathable. And I want to moisten it a little bit because I don't want to actually water it and drench it quite yet, because since our roots are so young, I don't know. Okay, so let's get our props potted. Okay, planter filled. There are drainage holes here that I used like a window screen to cover so we don't lose too much soil. I got my window screen from Home Depot, a roll of it, for not too expensive. I like to use it in my garden, so it's a very useful tool in the garden. So I'm gonna fill it up here. I don't think it's necessary to fill it up all the way, because we don't want too much excess soil for our young roots. So I think this looks good. Nice shallow bed. Again, I'm gonna dampen it. Kind of makes it a little easier to work with as well if the soil is a little damp. Time to move our little cuttings in. So while handling my string of turtles, I'm going to be very gentle because they are very fragile. Don't want to lose any leaves or ruin any of the progress that we've started here. So I just also want to point out, see how like your roots should be nice and light, and some parts are getting dark, so that's like freaking me out a little bit. So I want to get them in a pot. So alright, so like what I did with the sphagnum moss, when we were getting them propagated, we want to face our nodes down, our roots down. Actually, also have some type of tool that's gonna help maybe poke holes, guide your roots into the soil. So I have like a barbecue skewer. All right. All right, so we're laying them down in the same direction they were in the moss. And I'm just making little holes in the soil to kind of guide our roots down. So the roots are well developed. I really hope I didn't wait too long to transfer them over, because some of them are turning dark and I don't know what that means. So if you're watching and you have knowledge, more knowledge about this string of turtles than I do, let me know what's up. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong, or if you have any tips on how to care for these guys, because I'm still new to caring for these guys. Oh, all right, so we're grabbing more roots, more cuttings. Trying to be gentle because they are really growing into the moss. This is what you really wanted to see is growth. Just hopefully I'm making the right decision. I don't know about you, but I love to stress myself out every time I do something new with my plants. And when I say I love to stress myself out, I don't mean I love to stress myself out. I just worry about everything. I'm always scared that I'm doing harm to my plants when I'm always really trying to help them, because there's been plenty of times where you do something to help your plant and then it freaking just dies when you're just trying to do something nice for it, right? So, okay. So the parts where they're grown into the moss, I don't want to mess with too much. I don't want to break the roots out of it. I kind of want to just let them do their thing. We could leave the moss with them. So scared. Okay, let's move on to someone else. So, like I said, at first I was planning to leave these in here. I was going to be gone for 10 days, and I was thinking maybe I could just leave them in here and they'll be okay, but I don't know what to do. I'm going to put them in soil and hopefully they do well and start to grow in without me. And I come home pleasantly surprised to grown in turtles. Okay. So again, I'm trying to make little spaces for the roots to grow in. I'm not like packing them down too much, just guiding them into the soil. So see that little guy there? Gonna make a little home for him to grow into. So hopefully what I'm doing is okay here. I couldn't find too much information on string of turtles online or on YouTube, so just gotta figure out on my own and share it with you guys. All right. holding my breath the whole time. Well, let's see how much they've grown. So I don't want to like, I don't know. Okay. So yeah, I know I should have known better. I had this vacation coming up, but I couldn't help myself. I needed to buy plants right now, and I needed them now. I couldn't wait till we get back. And now I put myself in a position where I fear for the life of my cuttings. All right. Do what I did the last one, kind of guide them in to the soil a little bit. Okay. Almost done. So much growth. See, it's like, okay, keep talking about it. It's like stressing me out. I'm like, should I leave it? Should I not leave it? Oh no. Oh no, I don't know. So we're not. We're making moves. We're experimenting, right? That's what it's about, experimenting. If you don't know the answer, you gotta figure it out. And then you could share your information, right? Share what worked for you. Now you have the knowledge to share with others. So I don't know, I kind of like that. I feel like. So just a closer angle for you guys. Trying to tuck in any of our visible roots. We want them to grow into the soil. You want them to reach for the soil. And also try not to do any damage. Alright. And then also what's helpful, I have like old bobby pins that I kind of bent to use as a tool to hold our guys in place, kind of like so. Try to hold them in place, guide our roots to grow down into the soil. All right, I wanted to do a really close up of how to guide your roots into the soil. So where's my stick? Okay. Okay, so see that little root system here? It looks like it's grown into moss, but I want to kind of guide it down. Guide it downwards into the soil. Let's see if there's a better example. So I've got some roots here. See these guys down there. So I'm going to kind of gently guide them downwards into the soil. Right. Also gently. There you go. So they're looking nice and comfy. I'm gonna give them another quick spritz to make sure our soil is moist enough. And all right, so our babies are nicely tucked in. I'm gonna keep this container in a plastic bag for a little bit still, just to hold that humidity, just to help the roots grow. Keep growing down into the soil. All right, so let's give these guys 2 weeks and we'll give a check-in on them. Hopefully I did the right thing and hopefully they're happy with my decision. All right guys, thanks for watching the update of my string of turtles. Thanks for watching me repot them, and thanks for listening to me stress out a little bit about my decision making. And check back for the update and see if these guys survive or not.